Hi, I'm Randy Huddleston. Thank you for joining me as we take a minute to look at the most wonderful book ever written, the Bible. This is a wonderful book. It is not just one book, but 66 books bound together, held together not only by the cover, but by the God of heaven himself. It is a book that starts out telling all of us that God is involved, that he is the creator, that he created heaven and earth. It begins in Genesis, the first book of the Bible. In Revelation, the last book of the Bible, we are told that God is busy again. A new heaven, a new earth is being unveiled for us to be part of. This book tells the story. It's a fascinating thing. In the front, you will always find information about the book, the translation. There are a number of translations available. You've heard of the King James Version, I'm sure. That was done in the year 1611. Many have been done since and are available. And this is a New American Standard Bible. There are English Standard versions. There's a Living Bible that may be easier for some to read, or a New Living Translation, New International Version. There are a number of Bibles and English translations available, so check those out, and some will be easier for you to read than others. But the information in the very beginning describes how the translators went about their work. That's helpful to know, and how they reference God and the proper name of God, and how the Greek and the Aramaic and the Hebrew were translated. Take a look at that sometime when you're checking out a Bible. It's helpful to know how those things are developed. And in the front part of the Bible, you'll find this, the Old Testament listed with the books of the Bible. There are 39 Old Testament books, and they are listed from Genesis to Malachi. That is the way that we have that in our Bibles. There are other orders that are done in other places, but this is how it's handled here. And the New Testament also listed Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew, all the way to the book of Revelation, 27 books. So you find some, in the first 5 books, those are referred to as the books of the law, or the books of Moses, the 5 books that start everything off. They're books of history and books of prophecy. There are the books that are poetic, and those are helpful just to read through and get a sense of the heart in all of this. That's in Psalms and Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, and take a look at all of those. In the New Testament, 4 Gospels, 4 different aspects or perspectives of the story of Jesus, and very helpful to have 4 different ones from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, written at different times, so it gives a little bit different perspective. We have history in the book of Acts. We have letters to churches as these churches are beginning to start in the first century. We have, in the whole, over 40 authors writing over a period of 1,500 years, making all of these books that we have bound together in this one wonderful book. So the Gospels, 4 of them, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, book of history, the book of Acts, and then letters, mainly from the Apostle Paul, but also from James and Peter. We have John writing in 1st, 2nd, 3rd John. We have Jude, and then John writes again in the book of Revelation. So we've got a number of fascinating books, different time periods, telling us all sorts of different things. The New Testament is all written, all 27 books take place in the 1st century. So that one is a little more concentrated. The Old Testament, a longer period of time, and getting us all of these writings over centuries. The books of the Bible, all listed for you right at the front, so easy to find your way around to the various books in the Bible. Take a look at that. And the back of the book, there are often information that might be helpful, cross-references that will tell you different places to look up things in the Bible. Really helpful. And then maps that show you where things were taking place in the Middle East, and it helps you get a mental picture of what was happening or what the landscape was like, if it was hilly or by the ocean side, how far it was from one place to another. All of those things you can find in the back. So take a look, break out your Bible, just take a journey through there and begin to appreciate all that God has put together so that you can know better about this life and the one to come.